Well, good evening and welcome to the All Sports All Plays Sunday night post game show. Dude, it just feels good to have Sunday night football back once again with the uncertainty of sports. We are back. This is, as a sports fan, you should be happy. This is the best time for sports. And man, what a treat did we get today, my friend.
Ooh, good one.
All right, let's welcome Chris Brown to the show. Like you said, me and him do it. Every Mondays and Thursdays we bring the heat, and we expect to do the same thing today. Hey,
Yes,
Chris,
sir.
before we get into the games today, what was the biggest surprise out of any game today that came your way?
Um, the biggest surprise out of any game. Let me see. I'll take it from the Ravens game. I'll take it. They completely dominated. Like I had the Ravens winning in my week one predictions. I did, but did I see them dominating like that? I didn't. Honestly, I think this Cleveland Browns team is very talented. I knew they had no chance of winning, but at least thought they were going to fight. My thing was, okay, you're the underdogs. Everybody has you losing, but can you go out there and can you, have a sense of urgency? Can you have some grit, some grind? Can you all go out there and not play lackadaisical, but go out there with a chip on your shoulder trying to prove something? And they did not do that tonight. And my biggest takeaway is that the Ravens are dominant and the Cleveland Browns are just a mess.
You got that right. Well, let's get in right. Let's get into it. The first game that we'll talk about tonight was the Seattle Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay.
Both teams have a lot of firepower. You have Todd Gurley on the Falcons. You have Russell Wilson on the Seahawks. Um, what surprised you about that game, if anything?
That they're finally letting Russell Wilson do his thing in the passing game. Like this team has always been run dominant ever since he's been drafted. He played every single game. He had bad O lines, but he still puts up very good quarterback numbers, over 3,600 passing yards, 30 plus touchdowns. Last year was over 4,000 and 30 plus touchdowns. Now that he has healthy weapons, they're letting that man pass the ball. I mean, he was he was amazing. DK Metcalf, 4 receptions, 95 yards. Tyler Lockett, 8 receptions, 92 yards. Chris Carson had 2 touchdowns. The man was 31 for 35, 322 yards and 4 touchdowns. They're letting that man pass the ball. He is one of the best quarterbacks in his league. I know he's a leader, so he's always going to lead them to victories, even though if they're going to run the ball 20 plus times. But I think, man, you let that man throw it, he's going to have he's going to have Pat Mahomes type numbers this year.
All right, Chris. Let me ask you a question. Even though we know it's week one,
Mm-hmm.
everybody have not shown their full potential today. Teams was rusty. They trying to get back in the rhythm, not having preseason. But what you've seen out of Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks, you've seen Tampa Bay, struggle, because Tom Brady's
Mm-hmm.
still trying to get acclimated with his receivers and all that good stuff. If you think this Seattle Seahawks team get hot at the right moment, do you think they can take this NFCs?
Yeah, they can go all the way. They can make it to the Super Bowl. I mean, they're returning the same roster they had last year. Minus Jadeveon Clowney. But you look at it on the offensive side, man. You got good running backs. You have one of the best, if not you. I'm going to say one. I'm not going to say the best quarterback, but you have one of the best quarterbacks in the league. You have him and his head coach been together for years, and then you go and give him a Jamal Adams. I mean, this team has the talent. They got a lot of veterans on this team, guys that's been in the league in a while. They know what to do to win. This team, if they get hot at the right moment, they could make a push to the Super Bowl. I do believe that.
I definitely agree. But I think the game that we was most excited to see was how Cam Newton would come back to see if he's going to look like Cam Newton of the old, or how he would fit in this New England Patriots offense. They're used to a quarterback standing in the pocket. Hey, there's a hole, he still stands there. Now they have
Yeah.
a quarterback. When no receivers open, he becomes a threat himself. What did you think of Cam Newton today?
I think he played good. 2 rushing touchdowns, first time in this offense. He's becoming more healthy and healthier. I think he played really good. My thing is, can he be a consistent passer? Is the weapons around him going to be healthy and consistent? But for the first game against this Miami Dolphins team, who honestly I had picked the Miami Dolphins to win this game, had nothing to do with Cam Newton. It just had to do with I didn't know how their defense was going to play. I know their pass defense is amazing with the McCourtney twins and Stephon Gilmore. I just didn't know about their front seven. But Should have just took the veteran team, but that's just me looking at rosters, making a good decision. But Cam Newton, dude is balling. I think this is going to be the year where he's going to prove a lot of people wrong. I think he's going to have a lot more rushes, in some games, more running than throwing. I think is going to happen a lot this year with Cam Newton.
You're absolutely right when it comes to passing. This is basically the same wide receiver set last year when you had Tom Brady. And you had Tom Brady, who's one of the most elite throwing quarterbacks in the game, and you
Mhm.
see that he struggled with the lack of wide receivers around him. That's the only thing I hope the New England Patriots will put around Cam is
And
put
that
him
tight
around
end,
a decent, wide receivers tight end. You
he
know,
needs a tight end.
yeah, and the running game now the running game will be elite, and like you
Yes.
said, they put a defense around them with Bill Belichick. This team might make it to the playoffs, honestly, if they hit on all cylinders.
I don't know about that one. That's a reach for me, but yeah, I mean they have the veterans on their team to be consistent. Not going to be a slouch and not going to be a pushover. You're going to have to work to beat this New England Patriots team, but it's can they make sure they get the right pieces throughout the season? Can these pieces that's having to step up because players aren't here? Can they be consistent and good? That's the biggest question when I look at the New England Patriots. I love Cam Newton. Respect for Bill, not kind of a little bit of respect for Bill Belichick. Respect that defense, but can the others do their job? We know the star is going to do it, but can the others play a good role?
Well, what I'm saying is, I mean, they're better than the Dolphins. They're better than the
Yeah,
Jets in the division,
but
right?
they ain't better than the Bills though. They
I mean,
nowhere near the Bills.
so what if they can keep a steady um, wins and loss record?
They'd have to go 10-6 to make it to the playoffs, to a wild card team. I don't see them going 10-6. I don't think they have enough talent on that roster. And there's
Because
no disrespect to Cam Newton. There's no disrespect to Cam Newton. I think he's still gonna have a very good year. I just don't think this roster, looking at all the teams in the AFC, I don't think they can go 10-6. They might even have to go 11-5 because there's some very good teams in the AFC right now.
all right, I got you, I got you. Well, the number one pick, Joe Burrow, had his first game today. He was
Mm-hmm.
actually about to lead his team to a game. I believe it was either to tie the game or win the game.
Tied again.
Tied the game with a field goal, and the field goal kicker missed.
Missed it. Yeah, that was
Missed.
sad.
Like I mean, not to get too deep in the game because I mean, Phillip Rivers not with the Chargers anymore. You have Tyrod Taylor, but I mean, there's a good team. These you have weapons, but they're still missing an elite quarterback. But were you upset that Joe Burrow was not able to get his first win tonight when it was right at his hands?
No, I'd have them winning anyway. I had the Chargers winning. I didn't pick the Bengals. Would it be nice for the rookie quarterback, number one pick, to get a win in his first game? Yes, it would, but I didn't have them winning, so I didn't think too much about it. I think he did play a good game. I think he has that swagger about him, that confidence about him that's going to help him, have a very successful career in this league. But I'm not sad that he lost this game. I didn't have them winning at all. I think the Chargers let it be closer than what it should be. I do think Joe Burrow had a very good game. I think they have a good running attack with Mixon. They still got some receivers out there, but Joe Burrow's gonna need some help out there. That defense, everything. The Bengals team is nowhere near winning. It would have been nice, like I said, to see that man win his first game. But like I said, I didn't think they were going to win, and it was closer, honestly, than when I thought it was going to be.
Man, you talking about surprises. Tonight, I think we got a huge surprise. You have the Arizona Cardinals going against the 49ers, San Francisco 49ers. I said it, I say it all the time. Their running game is elite. Their defense is elite, but they need a quarterback who can make plays when plays need to be made. Jimmy G, I don't believe he's the quarterback that's going to win that franchise a Super Bowl because he cannot make big plays. And you seen tonight, man. What if this Cardinals team make it to the playoffs this year with Kyler Murray? I mean, he was just passing the ball all around. Did you see DeAndre Hopkins? What he had some crazy number, like 150 yards
Yeah.
receptions. I mean, this dude went off. He went off. This and with Larry Fitzgerald over there doing his thing, man, it's going to be interesting to see what this Cardinals team's going to do this year. I mean, Kyler Murray, he already had that little swag in him. The coach even
Mm-hmm.
got the the glasses on the sideline. I said, man, this Cardinals team can be dangerous. This team, it can possibly knock out the 49ers. is that these next couple games for the Cardinals, their schedule's pretty soft after the first game. So they win these. Let's say they win the next two or three, and maybe the 49ers lose one or two. The 49ers can actually lose this division because we believe that the Seattle Seahawks will make it to the playoffs, and this
Mm-hmm.
Rams team, what we saw tonight, looked pretty decent as well.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that?
I mean, I picked the Cardinals to win. I picked him to win a week ago. Once I figured out, I mean, I had the Cardinals winning for a couple of reasons. One, I think this passing offense is dangerous. You've seen what DeAndre Hopkins did in his first game. I think 9 or 10 receptions, 150 plus yards. I mean, dude was balling. I'm sorry, 14 receptions, 151 yards. Kyler Murray had 91 yards on the ground. Like this team, offensive wise, is dominant. And defense, I don't think they're no slouches, man. It was a play where Trent Williams completely dominated a linebacker on the run block. If y'all see that clip online, it's hilarious. But I think they have a very good defense. And when I look at this 49ers team, without Debo Samuel, without a number one true wide receiver, who's going to lead them when it comes to receptions? Kittle didn't have over 50 yards. Mostert had 90 plus yards, and he's a running back. So, Jimmy Garoppolo is doing checkdowns. This team, I don't think, is good enough on offense right now to put the necessary points on the board to win key games like this Cardinals team. This Cardinal team is dominant on the offensive end. So, you might be able to stop them. They might not put up 40, but they're going to get their points. And then when I look at the 49ers, if you know this Arizona Cardinals team is dangerous on offense, you have to put points up on the board too. And tonight, I feel like they struggle with that. Mostert was by far the best offensive player in this game. It wasn't even close. I mean, he had a long run, like I said, 90 plus yards on the catching and reception yards. Like, dude was balling. I agree with you, Jimmy G. He to me is a game manager. And when I say that, I mean you have to put the necessary weapons around him in order for him to succeed. You cannot just have George Kittle, no wide receivers, because then he's just going to check it down to the running backs. You have to get some good weapons outside on the outside so you can throw it to them, make some plays. He needs people around him to help him. You just cannot put him on a team with no weapons because that team will struggle. They're lucky that they have a good running game because if this team didn't have a good running game, it'd be bad news. They'd look like the Bears.
Yeah, it sure would. Now, when you're talking about Hall of Fame quarterbacks,
Mm-hmm.
GOATs, greatest of all times, elite quarterbacks, we definitely seen that at the next game between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know,
Ooh.
you had Drew. Tom Brady did not look like Tom Brady. We all expect that because it's the first game. They had no preseason. You could tell that him and Evans was dealing with a hamstring injury, but you could tell him and
Mhm.
Evans was not on the same page, and you could just tell that that obviously that offensive once you get comfortable behind that offensive line, that team will be a threat. But man, I believe New Orleans is going to be better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man, because you keep the same team, you add an Emmanuel, what's his name, Sanders to the
Mhm.
team, and then that's another threat to that offense, and then that defense, man, that defense has stepped up big time today. If they can get consistent energy from that defense with the Drew Brees doing his thing, with the Kamara doing his thing, just got paid on the other day, and put up what 2 touchdowns tonight, and carry this team. Man, I understand it's the first game, but I'm just saying they get this kind of production and they keep getting better. They can possibly be better than this Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, granted, we know this Tom Brady. It's his first game. They still need to get acclimated, but just saying.
Yeah, when I look at this game, I mean, it was a very good game. I would say this: the New Orleans Saints did not win because of their offense. Drew Brees didn't even throw for over 200 yards. Michael Thomas didn't get a lot of targets. Alvin Kamara had a very good game. He didn't have a lot of yards. They were in very good field position a lot. When I look at this New Orleans Saints team, I think this is going to be like how Peyton Manning was towards the end of his career, where he wasn't a good quarterback and that defense had to carry because this is not the same Drew Brees that we're accustomed to seeing. Now, granted, you can say it's the first game, you can say all these things, but Drew Brees hasn't been a guy to chuck it deep for a while. He does those short yard passes. Michael Thomas does slants and just powers through everybody and gets his yards. This Saints team, to me, very good defensive team. Very good defensive team. They have a good O line. good running back. But honestly, down the line, I would not be surprised if this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team becomes better than them. I won't. Like I said, the Saints won because of their defense. Tom Brady threw 2 interceptions. He did that. No excuses for that. He threw 2 interceptions. Him and his receivers still got to get on the same page. Godwin, the 2 slot receivers, I feel like had a very good game. Godwin, I think he's going to be his number 1 target this year because Tom Brady loves the slot guys. Then this guy Scott Miller, never heard of him, but he did his thing. Their running backs, I feel like the dude they have Jones. They didn't really need Fournette to be honest, because they already had a low key stud at running back. Adam Fournette was just another key factor. But I think their running game is going to be very good. But the biggest thing with them, Tom Brady has to not turn the ball over because turning the ball over, you're looking like Jameis Winston. And then the O line has to help protect them. Those at times where that O line was just letting that Saints team do whatever they want. Now, granted, the Saints have one of the best defenses in the league. You got Cam Jordan, who's giving you 15 plus sacks a year. But if this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team wants to do anything, it's going to have to start with that O line because that front seven is dominant. Their D backs are going to go out there and compete every single night. But can that O line keep up Tom Brady and let him make the necessary reads in order for him to throw dots and lead his team to victories?
It's funny you mentioned Jameis Winston. I seen a meme that popped up. He said that it had Tom Brady throwing the interception. It had his
Mm-hmm.
picture. Hey, and y'all thought I was the problem. I just thought it's funny. But
Yeah.
man, to get into the Sunday night football game, I've been ready to hit this topic. I was ready to hit it at the beginning of the show, but I was patient. I was
Mm-hmm.
waiting, so I'm gonna let us go. Um, to me, this shouldn't have been the Sunday night football game, honestly.
Nope.
Because I mean, let's just be real. I mean, they call this is the greatest country of all time that we live in. They call it America, and we're represented by a mediocre team that they call America's team, and that's called the Dallas Cowboys. They shouldn't have even been on a 7 o'clock night game. They shouldn't. I thought it should have been the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Saints tonight.
I
Um,
agree.
but for some reason they decided to put them on the night game. But granted this Rams team is good, and granted that the Cowboys had some players hurt, but I still thought the Cowboys should have still been able to pull this off. You have Ezekiel Elliott, you have Dak Prescott. I mean, let's just be real. It was to the point where this team needed only a field goal to tie it up, and they had time with all the weapons on this team they could not get a field goal. I mean, how pathetic is that? You have Dak Prescott playing in a contract year. You got Ezekiel Elliott. You see the tattoo talking about feed me, feed me. Well, maybe they should have fed him some more. Then you have Amari Cooper, who got the big payday, which to me he didn't deserve. You overpaid him, in my opinion, because I'm just saying he overpaid him. That's why you wondering why I'm Dak Prescott want to get paid. You have Gallup. You have C.D. Lamb. I mean, this team is loaded on the offensive side. And then did you see the 3 running backs that was tearing that defense up tonight? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have just a one guy. They have 3. It's by committee. They got pretty much everything they wanted. Jared Goff. I mean, the dude looked good tonight. I mean, he did what he was supposed to do. He didn't do too much. He didn't get out the game system. All he ran the football and he hit the little play action pass. Either he ran with it, hit a target. I mean, this Cowboys. It's no excuses that this Cowboys team should have lost to this team with the much firepower they had. You had Jerry Jones sitting up there, act like he started doing his fist, whatever, talking about he ready. Let's go. Dak Prescott, you looking for a contract? You don't want to start this season off this way. And before I let you go, I got one other thing to say. They got rid of a coach who was doing a lot of clapping last year. Now they got a coach that does this. I'll let you take it from there.
Yeah, I mean, watching this game, it was interesting to me. When I look at Los Angeles, they're still a very good team, not the best team in their division. No, but you know what you're going to get out of them. You have very good pass rusher, the best interior. Some people say you can say he's outside rusher now that he's a left end with the 3-4, but basically you got the best D lineman in the game, in Aaron Donald. So you know what you're going to get out of him. Then you also surround them. They had some also other guys on the D line that was going after Dak doing their thing. You have Jalen Ramsey, so you got guys on defense that's going to compete. You look on the offensive end, you're always going to know what you're going to get out of McVay and Goff. They're going to run the ball, to hit you with the play action. They're not going to do anything too special, They're going to be conservative, but they're going to get the job done. I mean, Jared Goff threw 20 for 31, had one ill-advised interception that honestly you could have said it wasn't, but it was a bad throw to begin with. You know, you have Robert Woods to give you 105 yards, receptions, and 6 touches. Like, this is a very good offensive team. Dallas, like you said, should have no excuses, none. Ezekiel Elliott, I'm not putting him the blame. I mean, 22 touches, 96 yards. It has to become a time where you have to give, in my opinion, one of the best running backs in the league, which he is. You have to give him the ball more. You do. I understand. You know, you have all these weapons, which they all did play well. Amari Cooper had the numbers. CeeDee Lamb had the numbers. Michael Gallup had the numbers. But at the end of the day, you gotta put the hands in Zeke. You gotta put the ball in his hands, man. You know, Dak Prescott, 25 for 39. Did he have some missed balls? Yes. You know, it's a lot of questions when it comes to Dak. People say outright he's the best quarterback in the NFC East, but they act like the man is Aaron Rodgers, and he's not that type of caliber quarterback, because if you gave these guys them weapons, the game wouldn't have been like this, honestly. They would not go 25 for 39. Amari Cooper, the best receiver, would have way more than 81 yards. I mean, you've seen what Devontae Adams had today. You've seen what Aaron Rodgers and they did. So it's like, Cowboys have no excuses. It's the same thing every single year. They always want to make an excuse. You know, before the game, they'll say, "Oh, we're the best team by far. We have the most talented team." Okay, cool. You have 3 weapons. You have a very good running back. The offensive line is still hurt, injured, not the same how it used to be a couple years ago. Your defense is not special. I love the addition of Aldo Smith. I feel like he should have been in the league, but your defense is not special. You don't have special corners. You don't have special safeties. You know, Van Der Esch is hurt. Knock on wood. I don't wish injuries on nobody. He's a very good player. I hope he returns soon. But your linebacker is the best part of that defense. Your D line is questionable, in my opinion. You know, y'all have the third best D line in the conference. I mean, no, in the division, they have the third best D line in the division. So that defense is nothing special. It's not, because Los Angeles look comfortable every single play. In my opinion, they look comfortable out there. Jared Goff looked comfortable out there. The running back Brown and Akers did their thing out there. So when I look at this Dallas Cowboys team, everybody, not to touch on the game that happened earlier, but everybody wants to hate on Eagles fans, right? We do not talk as much as Cowboys fans, and Cowboys fans are supposed to be America's team. You know, they're supposed to be the ones that, like you said, they're America's team, but they haven't won since 1995. So how does that look? If all actuality, the America's team needs to be the Patriots, because at least they're the newest dynasty. From 2000 to 2020, they won what, 6 championships? Dallas hasn't won since the 90s. I mean, this team is overly hyped every single year. Then after every year, it's a new excuse. In the beginning of the year, they hype them up again just for a new excuse. So I'm just waiting for the excuse. They're going to say, "Oh, that should not have been a PI." I mean, look at the rule book. He pushed off. Is it a PI? Yes. Should the referees call games to decide games like? Should they call calls to decide games like that? No. But at the end of the day, a personal foul is a personal foul. I love that here the Dallas Cowboy fans excuses, because they have excuse after every single game where they choke, where they're supposed to be the better team winning the game and they lose. So I love to hear it. You know, it's a new excuse. I don't care for it, because I know this Dallas Cowboys team isn't going to win anything at the end of the day, and I think you can attest to that.
Chris, I'm used to it.
Yeah, I'm used to it too.
I live here in Texas. I'm 2 hours away from Dallas, my friend. Trust me, I'm gonna wake up in the morning and I'm gonna go to work and I'm gonna see a lot of mad Cowboy fans. I'm gonna see a lot of sad. But if they would have won, guess what they would have done? They would have came outside to my truck and they would have said, "How about them Cowboys?" But guess what? Leatherfoot this time. I'm so used to it where they can go 0-12 in a season. They swear they gonna still make it to the Super Bowl. That's who they are. So I mean, there's always an excuse. It's like the Green Bay Packers season a few years ago when they said Dez caught the pass and whatever, all that stuff. But guess what? I always tell them, even if Dez would have caught the pass and they would have called a touchdown, I believe it's still like 4 minutes on the clock for Aaron Rodgers to score a touchdown.
And that's a bad man. We all know that.
And he could have scored 2 touchdowns within that time. So I don't take Cowboys fans serious, because they don't take themselves serious.
They don't.
If they took themselves serious, they'll hold that team accountable. They'll say, "Jerry Jones, enough is enough. We're not buying your tickets. We're not buying your merchandise until you get this stuff corrected." There's no way that you have Dak Prescott playing on a contract year when you're paying everybody else but him. I mean, it comes a time where you have to hold them accountable. But
coaching was questionable too.
Yeah.
Like I texted in the message, and they went for it on 4th down where they could have kicked a field goal. And if you look at it, they kicked that field goal this 2020. It's the score to been 2020. They went into overtime. Anything can happen in overtime. I understand you want to go for it on fourth, but sometimes you just need to take your three. And y'all say, Cowboys fans say y'all have the best defense. You should have believed in your defense.
Huh.
You know.
But what we seen today, what did you see a team that can be a surprise pick? We know the favorites for the Super Bowl and all that
Mhm.
stuff. But there a surprise team that you think can sneak in there and surprise some people?
Well, the teams I saw today, it would be Arizona. It'd be Arizona. Like I said, this team offense is out of this world. They have a very, very good defense. You got the pass rusher in Chandler Jones. You got some depth around that position. You got the linebackers in Hicks. You have the safeties in Simmons and Buda Baker, the cornerback and Patrick Peterson. This team, and then offense. You know what they have: Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins. That 1-2 combo is going to be dangerous this year. Both those guys going to put up some big numbers. I mean, this team, they go out and beat the team, and everybody can say, "Oh, they didn't have all them players." But at the end of the day, who was the favorite and who wasn't the favorite? That's why all those excuses don't matter, because if they weren't the favorite, they're not gonna understand. But if a team is favorited to win, if they're the favorite to win and they still lose, I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear they didn't have Debo. I don't want to hear this guy was hurt, that guy was hurt. I don't want to hear none of that stuff. If you're the favorite, if you should win, point blank, period. That team was the favorite to beat this Cardinals team, and they did not. That's what I had the Cardinals winning. I love their offense. I love what they're going to do on offense this year. I think their defense is not going to be the best defense in the league, but they're going to be close to average. This team's going to surprise a lot of people, and if they don't make the playoffs, they're going to ruin a lot of people's season by beating them at games that teams that need to win.
I definitely hear you and I definitely understand you, but I seen one team light it up, and they was in it last year, but things have got a little bit opened up a little bit more, and it's in the NFC. He's a bad man.
That ain't a surprise team, Freddie.
Did you see what the Green Bay Packers did today? Hey, I'm predicting that they are going to the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers got a chip on his shoulder. The Green Bay Packers organization then ticked him off, and he's gonna answer the bell. This dude said, "You know what? You gonna draft a quarterback to replace me, Aaron Rodgers? Okay, I'm gonna show you why you don't replace me. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna light it up." He had like what 4 TDs. I mean, and this Vikings team's not no slouch. This ain't no sorry Vikings team. This Vikings team have threats. They might not have a quarterback to take them there, but they do have threats. But Aaron Rodgers showed us why he's still the best quarterback in the game. People want to give it to Patrick Mahomes, and hey, I respect Patrick Mahomes. I think Patrick Mahomes is the baddest dude out there, but I think Aaron Rodgers is about to have something to do with that. He's about to be the LeBron James of football this year. He's about to stop talking about it, and he's gonna be about it. He's gonna show everybody why he's still the baddest man on the planet, and he's gonna lead this team to a Super Bowl. We're gonna see the Green Bay Packers and the Kansas City Chiefs. And guess what? It's gonna be the teacher versus student, and we're gonna get the win.
Now, Freddie, how you consider the Packers a surprise team? They went to the NFC Championship last year. Everybody knows how good they are. That's not a surprise pick.
Do you
They
really
already.
want a surprise pick? Do you really want that?
I want a true that we seen today. Not no team that hasn't played yet. I'm talking about a team that played
Well,
today.
that's my pick. I mean, the team that I'm gonna pick is gonna see the play. They're gonna play tomorrow.
They're
See,
gonna lose. They're
yeah,
gonna
I'm in a
lose.
beautiful position right now. So
They're gonna lose
I know
tomorrow.
you don't want me to say this on the air, but
Let's
you
get into it.
lost to the Washington football team.
Now it's my team. Let me talk about it. Since it's my team, let me talk about it. And
All right,
unbiased, because I'm not biased.
I'm not. Let me finish my point. Y'all lost.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys lost, and
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden, my Giants, my
Mm-hmm.
New York Giants, with
Mm-hmm.
Saquon Barkley, Danny Dimes, got all they have to do tomorrow is win, 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 and we gonna win that NFC East. Now you could talk about your Eagles
Mm-hmm.
now, sir.
Okay. Now, first of all, the Cowboys could go on 5. The Eagles can go on 5, and I think they're both going to sit there and laugh. I guess that's his power rankings
Yeah,
today so far. But they're both going to sit there and laugh because nobody's worried about the New York Giants winning the division. Nobody's worried about that team. First of all, before I get into them, let's just talk about the Eagles real quick. I have no excuses, but I'm just going to point out the obvious. When you have a third string right tackle playing that was his first time playing an NFL football game. When you have a backup right guard, what do you think's going to happen when you're going against a Washington football team? Let me finish. When you're going against a Washington football team who has a top 7, top 8 D line in the league, it's not like they have bums on that defensive line. They was drafting high overall first round, second rounds. They was drafting good guys. I mean, you got the outside rushers and inside rushers. Everybody that knows football knows this Washington football team has a very good D line. That's why I said in my predictions, if the Washington football team is going to make a presence, they have to kill the Eagles' offensive line, and that's what they did. They got 9 sacks. Like I said, no excuses. That's just the obvious. The also obvious was Carson Wentz needs to play better. He needs to learn how to throw the ball away. If he threw the ball away, those 9 sacks would have been cut down to 4 so easily. And then he threw 2 interceptions. So you can blame the O-line. You can blame him, but at the end of the day, we lost. Am I worried? No, it's week 1, and we have so many injuries to count. You talking about from the defensive line to the CBs to the O-line to the running backs. I mean, to the wide receivers. We have 4 or 5 starters that didn't play. So am I worried? No. Are the Cowboys worried that they lost against the Rams? No, because the Giants go against the Steelers. They're not going against the Bengals. They're not going against the Chargers team that, or you can say they're on the level, but I still think those teams are better than them. You're going against the Steelers, Freddie. I would bet my house that y'all lose tomorrow. I would bet everything that's in front of me right now. My camera, my computer, my PlayStation, my TV, that y'all gonna lose tomorrow, man. Y'all beating the Steelers defense. Come on now, nobody sees that happening. Let's be realistic. At least I'm realistic with it. I'm telling the truth. I'm not saying all the excuses. We play bad. It starts with the quarterback and the offensive line. They play bad. The defense didn't play bad.
You missing.
Freddie, what's the point? You're going to say, okay, this is your point. The Cowboys lost and the Eagles lost, so the Giants are going to be the first in the division, you know, which I think the Washington is going to be first in the division since their game is a division game. But either way, you're saying y'all going to be the top of the division for 1 week, Freddie. Nobody cares about week 1, bro.
No.
Like I said, the Eagles can go on. The Eagles can go 0-7, and the Cowboys can go 0-7. What they're going to do is sit there and they're going to laugh, shake hands, because nobody is scared of this New York Giants football team. Not the Eagles, not the Cowboys, not the Washington football team, and certainly not the Steelers. Demar, I'm sorry. Like, let's talk about it. You say because you got me started, so we're gonna talk about it. You keep talking about you. No, let me tell you. You keep talking about Danny Dimes, right? That's cool and all. Who's going to hold him up, right? You keep talking about Saquon. Who's going to run behind? And let's be honest, when you look at Saquon, he goes for 2 yards a pop, 3 yards a 4 yards a pop. Dean breaks a big run. You talking about their weapons? You got Evan Ingram. Cool, I like Evan Ingram. Talking about Sterling Sharp, is he a proven number 1 wide receiver? No. Talking about Golden Tate, is he a proven number 1 wide receiver? No. Then, like I said, who's going to protect those guys? Then we go into defense. You have no defense. So what do you think you're going to do with no defense? Let's be real. No team can do anything with no defense, and you're going against the Steelers team that has one of the best O lines, running back, quarterback is back. They got Juju, another receiver. Then they have a top 2 defense. Honestly, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow? How do you think you guys are going to win? I want to hear it.
Let me tell you how we're gonna do it tomorrow. Because I mean, you got real amped up because I mentioned you lost to the Washington football team.
I got amped up because you're boosting this Giants team like they're actually something. They're nothing, Freddie.
You know
they're
why?
Nothing.
Because the way the players are, they're acting like you. They gonna take us by surprise, and we gonna just punch them in the mouth. You're going against the Pittsburgh Steelers team tomorrow, whose Big Ben got hurt a year ago. He's coming back for the first time, no preseason. He gonna have to get back in a rhythm. I understand about the defense. I understand about all of that. But guess what? You're talking about a Saquon Barkley, who seems like, like I said it before, Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders and had a baby to spit out Saquon Barkley. This dude seen Christian McCaffrey go off last year. He seen Ezekiel Elliott. He said, you know what? This is my year. I'm taking over the league. This dude is about to be the best running back in the league. He's already the best running back in the NFC East, by the way. Then we got the better quarterback in the NFC East. It showed today. Carson Wentz, he looked like hot trash. Dak Prescott could not get it done in pressure. But Danny Dimes, he'll get it done tomorrow. I guarantee you that. Against that elite defense. The dude was an elite quarterback last year in the rookie elite class. When I say that, he threw 24 touchdowns. He gave you 12 interceptions. The only problem the dude had was fumbling the football, and that can be worked on. And
That's
again,
elite.
then we go with our weapons. You have Evan Ingram. He's going to be the best tight end in the NFC East this year. We have Sterling Shepard. We have Golden Tate, Darius Slayton. Yes, we don't have the big name receivers like the Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles do, but guess what? We'll get it done what we have. Because, like I said, and yes, you talk about my defense. Yes, we don't have the big flashy names, but we're a young defense. Now this young,
Name five guys on that defense that can make an impact right now.
it's a young defense.
Name five guys on that defense right now that can make an impact.
It's a young defense. It
You're
don't
not
matter.
answering my question. That's a
It don't,
good name five guys on that defense.
we didn't get Chase Young. It don't matter. This is
Name
a
five. You didn't have a chance to draft Chase Young.
we did. Yes. Well,
He went the second pick. Y'all didn't have the first.
we could have made a trade for it. We could have made it happen.
Listen.
This,
You're not answering my question. I'm asking you a simple question. Name five guys on that defense that's going to, because I'll tell you your defense right now. You got Dexter Lawrence, who? Dalvin Thompson, who? Leonard Williams, he might be that one. Marcus Golden, question mark. Devontae Downs, question mark. Blake Martinez, okay, that's one. Maybe. Lorenzo Carter, question mark. James Bradbury, question mark. Jabril Peppers, that's three, even though you said you don't even like him. Julian Love, Corey Belton. Like I said, you have no defense. So please, Freddie, stop telling me about.
we don't have the defense by names, Chris. But we're gonna step up as committee. We're gonna step up as committee to starting tomorrow, and we're gonna start building an elite defense. I guarantee you that. And if we lose tomorrow, we gonna have to ask J Mac. We come on Monday Night Football, and I eat humble pie. I'll tell you how bad we are. But
I don't even want you to eat humble pie. That's what I'm telling you.
This
you don't
team
even have to eat
the number one team in the NFCs.
Freddie, nobody believes that, my guy.
That's the point. That's the beautiful thing about it.
Golden Tate had 85 targets, only caught 49 balls. Yeah, Darius Slayton, 84 targets, 48 balls. Sterling Shepard, dude. Okay. Since you believe in this team so much and you really think that they're going to win a division, let's put a wager on it right now. Let's put a wager on it.
I live in Texas. We're not allowed to do that here.
You say that, but then I mean, some other things said otherwise. I'm not going to get into it, but I love the confidence in your New York Giants football team. I love it. I mean, nobody's going to take them serious, and you can keep saying, "Well, we're going to prove everybody wrong," but I'm being realistic here. You're not being realistic. You're in fan mode right now, Freddie. You're in fan mode.
I'm just saying, people are not going to expect us to be good
because your roster isn't good.
Exactly.
You have to have good players to play good in football. Every team What team has won without good players, Freddie?
We're gonna be the first. I didn't say we're gonna win the Super Bowl.
You said to win a division. What bad team has ever won a division?
We're gonna be the first team to do it. Like this is what us Giants do.
You're going to set a trend to win with bad players, Freddie. This is grown men. Freddie, you have no offensive line. You're going against three guys.
We drive the offensive line. Our offensive line has gotten better over the last 2 years, Chris.
Still, you do not have a top offensive line. Watch when TJ Watt has 2-3 sacks tomorrow. Watch when that Steelers defense is destroying y'all tomorrow. Just watch it. Watch it. You having too much faith in this young team. If you'd have been realistic and said y'all had a realistic record, then I could honestly agree with you and point out some things. But you're saying you're going to be the best, Freddie. I'm sorry. Nobody thinks you're going to be the best. The Washington football team, which, by the way, I think everybody in the world can agree, they need to hurry up and find a new name because I'm sorry. I keep calling them the Redskins, and I know we're not supposed to do that. But the football team, they got to fix that. But at the end of the day, the Washington football team is going to be better than y'all. Freddie, everybody knows.
Please, stop.
Freddie, they have a way. But first of all, this is how I look at teams. Defense, right? Who do they have on defense? Their D-line, like I've been saying it, but before they drafted Chase Young and now that they got Chase Young, they have a top 8 defensive line in the league. Just start off right there. When I look at their offense, yeah, y'all might have better weapons than them, but who y'all going to stop from scoring? People can stop y'all from scoring.
No,
but who y'all going to stop? They can't stop Saquon.
Hey,
Saquon, how much is Saquon going to rush? How much is Saquon going to rush for tomorrow?
$125.
Oh my God!
Right, Rashawn, come on the show. I know you're kind of sad that your Cowboys lost today.
How be delusional? Oh, he talking about us and how bad the Cowboys. I mean, this is what I'm going to say. As long as Cowboys fans don't make excuses, then then that's all. Because I at least can say by my Eagles, I can point out the obvious. They beat us by getting sacks. We missed 3 starting offensive linemen, and we had a guy that played his first NFL football game. That's not an excuse. That's just a fact. And I point out the blame is Carson Wentz. No excuses. He has to play better. So I want to hear the Cowboys' reasoning for losing this game, and it better not be that pass interference towards the end of the game. That better not be the reason. I
Hey,
do not want to hear
Rashawn,
that.
I give you full permission to come on the show. Don't be scared. This dude right here, he's like a typical Cowboy fan. You know, he can talk all day long about how the Cowboys gonna do something. But when they lose, you be like, man, what is the dude that you can't find them?
That's the truth. See, at least with me, I came on. I talked a lot about my Eagles all day, reacted to them and all that because I can tell the truth about what happened. I'm not going to hear a sugarcoat it and say, "Oh, well, if we had our offensive line, we could have won." No, we didn't have offensive line. That's why we lost. That's just the truth. I never heard a Cowboys fan. I'm going to talk about last year. Last year, how they went 3-0, right? Had people in my school come in and tell me, "Oh, did you see them? How about them Cowboys? Best team in the division. We going to the Super Bowl." Had people blowing up my phone. People hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. How about them Cowboys? But then in the next 10 games, when they went 3-7, everybody was on hush mode.
Yeah,
So right now, so right now, I'm looking like, okay, where the Cowboys fans at that was talking all that trash as soon as the Eagles lost? Oh my God, we're so talented. We're not going to lose. We're going to destroy the Rams. But none of them are saying nothing. And what's going to be the excuse? I had no excuse. I pointed out the real. Not saying it would have went another way if players were healthy. I just pointed out the real what happened today. Every time I hear Cowboys fans react on the game, they say what could have happened, not what did happen. That's my take on that.
man, I know this is a football post game show, but I've been wanting to talk to you about this because I got to eat some humble pie. This is happening, and I said it wouldn't happen. There's no chance that it will happen, but
You
I
want to save it to tomorrow, or you want to talk about it right now?
I want to talk about it. Well,
Let's talk about it. It's up to you, man.
we'll wait till tomorrow. We'll wait till
Okay.
tomorrow. I am excited about that topic though, man. That's a dope. I
You
like.
you you gonna put the humble pie on the screen?
Yeah, I'm about to put the humble pie on the screen because I got.
You gonna have to put. I mean, I'm without giving any details. I'm just gonna point out just some things, man. This team has been doing it for a while now. I mean, they're a resilient team, resilient players, resilient head coach. No fight. I don't understand why people thought it was gonna be that easy. Every game was close, and that's all I'm gonna say. But my one of my last things I want to talk about with this football stuff is, man, who you think right now is looking like the best team? Week 1.
Ooh,
Do you say honestly? I'm going with the Ravens for the
they were
simple fact that
the
is they destroyed the Browns.
yeah, they was the
They
most.
just and you cannot say that now. What you can say is that the Houston Texas team has consistently played better than this Cleveland Brown team. But when you look at the talent wise, the talent is the same. Like the Houston Texans to me, even though they traded away DeAndre Hopkins, still have a top 10, top 8 wide receiver core in this game. You have Brandon Cooks, you have Will Fuller, Kenny Still, Randall Cobb. David Johnson had 11 rushes for 77 yards. You got Deshaun Watson throwing that thing. Now the defense is a question mark and the offensive line is a question mark. But when you look at this Cleveland Browns team, you have 2 very good running backs that could both go out and start on any other team they want and be one of the best running backs in the league. You got 2 top wide receivers, 2 top tight ends, very good defense. But the Baltimore Ravens completely shut them down. Like I said, this team went 14-2 last year, won 14 straight games to end the regular season, and all they did was get better.
So we talking about the Browns. Is it a Baker Mayfield problem? Maybe just think about this. I bet the Browns are kicking their behind. Like, could you imagine they would have drafted Lamar Jackson instead of Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, I mean, I think Lamar. I think everybody gets caught up in that, one and that good season that he had. But I think Lamar Jackson showed it year after year in college that he was a dude. And everybody that they want to say, oh, he needs to become a running back. Why? Because he's fast. You don't look at it as another weapon. I mean, you like him and a good running back. Now, granted, I'm glad he went to Baltimore because I don't think any situation would have worked for him like Baltimore's working for him. But man, like you gotta know your talent. In my opinion, I never thought Baker Mayfield was, a top quarterback. I thought honestly I would have took Josh Allen over him. You could have took Darnold over him just because Baker Mayfield had that good season. Don't mean he's the best. Of course, you'd have took Lamar Jackson over. Anybody that watch college football know how good Lamar Jackson was. But in my opinion, with that, I wouldn't even want Baker at number one because you would have got him at number four.
Yeah, I definitely think the
You
Browns
could,
dropped the ball on
I
that.
would have got Bradley. I would have got Bradley Chubb right there, and it'd have been him and Miles Garrett. Then at number four, you could have went in, and you probably could have got. If you didn't want, if you thought this was the best time to get a quarterback, which it really wasn't. You could have went out and you could have got Bradley Chubb, you could have got Denzel Ward, and then still be able to get a decent quarterback. Because man, Baker Mayfield right now, and then you had Tyrod. This is the thing. This is my thing. I was saying y'all have Tyrod Taylor. Please don't forget about that. If you're not drafting, because to me, the people I would have drafted was Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson would have been my top two quarterbacks, and then Sam Darnold right there, and then Baker, and then Rosen. But no, they didn't do that. If they'd have think about it, they'd have drafted Bradley Chubb, and it'd have been him, and it would have been him and Miles Garrett, and then he still had Denzel Ward. You have Tyrod Taylor, which is a consistent quarterback, and you already have a very good running back in Nick Chubb. That team would have been nice. I mean, you talking about two dominant pass rushers. Now, granted, Bradley Chubb is over there in Denver doing his thing. Hopefully, he can do his thing tomorrow. But he's over there in Denver. He had Von Miller with him. But just imagine two young studs, Miles Garrett, Bradley Chubb, next to each other. I mean, that you talking about a duo that's gonna shake the world.
With that being said, if this Browns team do not get it done this year, do you think they move on from Baker Mayfield?
You have to. You have to. Because I mean, the dude had. Let me say this. This is what I define by getting it done. Okay. No, they're not going to win their division. We all know that. Yes, it's going to be in between them and the Steelers, who's going to be number two and who can fight to the wild card. But I think if they're not even close to making it to the wild card, like if they don't even go 9-7 or 8-8, then Baker Mayfield's no longer. You can't keep it. You can't have you. This dude has weapons, so you cannot say weapons is the problem. Okay, you have Odell, Jarvis Landry, the running backs, the tight ends. The dude has weapons.
But that's
He
why
has weapons.
the
So
wild.
yeah, so I think you're not winning. I think if he doesn't get to at least 9-7 and close to a wild card, then you're looking to move on. But if he gets there and he's like, if they win, like if he gets there 9-7, 10-6, but another team just has a better record, I think if he has a positive record this year and is close to making it to a wild card, close to getting to the playoffs, you can keep with him. But if he doesn't have a positive record, plays a bad season, then it's time for him to go. But I don't think it's win a division or bust or go 11-5 and bust. I think it's just having a very good productive season and winning record and at least close to making it to the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm just to give some insight. And it's Plugworth. He said Kansas City. Nate the Great said the Ravens. He also said imagine the Ravens draft Baker.
That would have been terrible.
Yeah, I
That would
did.
have. I mean, that honestly would have been. Honestly, I don't think he would have just started over Joe Flacco. And then if he did, I don't think he would have did what Lamar Jackson did. I mean, Lamar Jackson can only get better. He can only get better. I don't think you can say the same with Baker Mayfield. I mean, he can get better, but it's not like he's shown it. Lamar Jackson has shown he wants to get better, and then he also goes out on the field and proves it. It's like he's not just all talk. He literally proves it game after game after game. In
I
my opinion, dude should have been drafted way higher at the time where things was looking. I wanted him to go to Jacksonville at that particular time because that's when they had the dominant defense. They just lost to the Patriots in the AFC Championship. So at the time, I wanted him to go to Jacksonville, but I think Baltimore was the best fit for him. And you can say the Kansas City Chiefs are the defending Super Bowl champions, but right now, I honestly think the Ravens have the better roster.
So before we close off the show tonight, this is just an off the wall topic. This is not even dealing with football. How impressed were you with the Rams' new stadium? Just
The
as
Ram- with the new stadium,
yeah,
I mean, it's kind of hard to judge a stadium, in my opinion, without fans. I'm be honest. Like the stadium, all stadiums, they all look nice. Like if you like, I've been to a lot of NFL stadiums. All stadiums look nice. I've yet to seen a very. I mean, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I've never been to the Green Bay, to the Minnesota, but I've been to a couple NFL stadiums, and most of them look nice. But it's hard to judge them without fans in the seats. They just look empty, man. But do I? But just to say that if it's not safe for fans to be there, then they shouldn't be there. I know Jacksonville is the only team to have fans there,
and the
so I
Chiefs.
don't know. And the Chiefs have fans too. They're the only two teams that have fans. But it's like all stadiums are beautiful. I think the Rams did have a nice stadium. The field looked nice, but just imagine how it would have been. Why? Well, the Rams is a bad example for having fans because they don't have real fans like a team like the Saints, like a team like the Saints. Now, if the Saints would have had a home crowd, it would have went crazy. I'm talking about a divisional round. I mean, a division game. You know, a team that everybody thinks that can beat you for your division. Oh, them fans would have went wild.
Right, I got you. Well, hey, everybody, make sure you tune in to the All Sports All Plays Network tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central. So, the Sports Talk with Freddie and Chris. We have a special guest with Darren Smith. He's a reporter. He's a sports reporter for the Kansas City Chiefs. Me and Chris will definitely get the best interview out of him. We'll get a lot out of him tomorrow night. We look forward to that, and we're going to talk NFL, NBA, all that stuff. We're going to cover it all tomorrow night. It gets real tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central. Chris, do you have anything you want to add to that?
I just can't wait for you to take a slice of the humble pie. We're gonna get into tomorrow, and I'm just gonna, say the truth. I can't wait for your Giants to lose tomorrow, and I cannot wait for this great interview we're gonna have with this reporter from Kansas City. Man, it's gonna get some nice topics we're gonna have. Can't wait.
You know what? Speaking of the humble pie, my
Mhm.
mom has been going for that team that you're going for the longest. And then I said, Mom, they can't do it. They can't do it. And it's impossible. So every time they make a big play or something or they won, they called me and got me. She said, they did it. I said, yeah, you're right. So,
Just I can't wait to what they play on Tuesday.
yeah, Tuesday.
Ooh wee!
So,
Cannot wait.
yes, sir. But hey, this is all it from All Sports, All Plays Network. The post game show with Freddie and Chris. For the post game shows, catch us every Sunday night after Sunday night football. And catch us Mondays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. Central. We are out, you guys. You guys have a good night.
Everybody have a good day.